Welcome to Action Coaching. We're certainly delighted that you joined us on today because we believe that God has a special coaching word just for you. I want to encourage all of you that enjoy Action Coaching to make sure you hit the subscribe button so that others can know that you're watching Action Coaching and the different events that come up on Action Coaching. It'll certainly be a blessing to you. And I want you to also share it. Share it with your friends. Let them know how Action Coaching has blessed you. And I believe that everybody in life needs a coach. Whether you want to call a coach, a mentor, a guide, whatever, none of us make it by ourselves. All of us need someone to kind of coach us along the way, who have been through the things that we are about to face, and to let us know that it's nothing new, but it is a process that one have to go through. And so certainly I'm excited about this week of Action Coaching. Now, what I want to talk about this week on Action Coaching, some years ago I spoke about a message that was entitled, Not the Product, but the Process. Let me say that again. Not the product, but the process. And that's what I want to talk about in this week coaching session. So many times there's so many people that can get caught up in the product. Give you an example. Some people can say, well, I want a job and I want to make a whole lot of money, or I want to drive some of the nicest cars that anybody ever seen, or perhaps I want to be the person that's traveling all around the world, do everything I want to do. And a lot of times you'll hear people express things that they desire, but chances are they never do achieve them. You know, and I hear constantly from people and people that I'm engaged with, even members of the church, each and every day, and I know what they're talking about. I've been there myself. A lot of people will consistently say what they want to do. Have you ever seen or heard that term before? I'm going to do. One day I'm going to get to it. Just give me another few months and I'm going to get started. Even when people are going out, maybe they want to get in good physical shape, they'll say it may be the month of March, and they'll say, well, I'm going to get in shape in May or when the summer comes. So you hear those terms used all of the time. And the thing about it is, people will say those things, and at the same time, they're some of the most frustrated individuals you ever seen. They'll grumble and complain like, oh, I can't do that, or I thought I was going to be doing this by now, or I didn't know I was going to live the rest of my life and still be in this same predicament. But basically, all of that is attributed to I'm going to do. Now, here is something we have to understand about any endeavor we are going to undertake in life. The first thing that we got to define is not going to do, I'm doing it. You got to take that I'm going to do out of your mouth, out of your thinking, and you got to start doing it, because doing something towards your goal, no matter how big or small it is, it gets you started on the road. When God first gave me a vision, it didn't come with no plan. It came with the vision. Now it was up to me whether I was going to do it, or was I going to sit around and say, I'm going to do it. A lot of people are hungry for success, but they are disappointed because they never achieve success because they're always going to do. But you got to get those words out of your mind. You got to start saying, I'm doing. Whatever it takes, I am in the process of doing it. And back to I said, when God gave me a vision, of course, I didn't have any directive. I didn't even know what it was going to turn into. I was not per se a preacher at that time or minister. That was never one of my endeavors at that particular point. He just simple told me to what I'm supposed to do, and I needed to go do it. I wasn't talking about it. Just got up one morning and I started doing it. Started going downtown, telling people about what I'm supposed to do. And not only downtown, everywhere I could go, I was telling people about what my vision was. I wasn't saying I'm going to do, I was doing it. I didn't wait for no money to come, no help to come, no particular wisdom or somebody to give me the okay. I just did it. Here is the basic problem in a lot of our stories, and those of us that live in this great country of opportunity. Here is our frustration. We hear more, I'm going to do, and not enough of I am doing right now. Why is that so important? Because if you're going to succeed in any endeavor, you got to take the first steps. I don't care what it is. But you got to start the process of taking those steps. And I told you from the beginning that the whole point of this coaching session was from a message I did. So it's not the product, but it's the process. And here's what I want to say. Every product is evolved based on what the individual, company, factory, or whatever is willing to do in that moment to get it started right now. And as they begin to do, then the process begins to evolve. Give you another example. I've seen a lot of great cooks in my time. My wife is a great cook. Sister, older sister than her, she's a... And you know, the amazing thing that I come to learn over the years was that when they say they were going to prepare cake or pie or whatever, something sweet that we all can eat, the first thing they started to do was they started pulling out pots and pans and flowers and whatever they were making the cake mix. This is even before the cake came. They start getting the stove ready. They start doing various things. Now, somebody like me sitting there saying, well, I thought when you had to say you were going to bake the cake, it'll be ready in about 15, 30 minutes, and I'll be ready to eat. What I didn't understand is the process it took to create the cake before I can ever eat it. In life, a lot of people, they want the product. They just don't want the process. Whether you want to be a famous athlete, scientist, or whatever your endeavor might be, there's a process that one have to go through in order to achieve these things. In the process, I like to say it this way. Everybody rejoice and are amazed when something is beautiful. Oh, they rejoice in it. When a person is a star, a person is doing great things. Perhaps they're making tremendous amount of money for their endeavor right now. And everybody rejoices in that fact. Not that I'm saying you shouldn't rejoice in it, but here is the point I'm trying to make. Sometimes I feel that not enough is told about the backstory. See, the backstory is not glamorous. The backstory is not exciting. The backstory is when nobody is saying you're great, you're awesome, you're doing all of these things. Because nobody likes the backstory. Isn't it amazing that there are some things that run efficiently in this life and people have no idea what goes on behind the scene for that to work. The car you drive, the food you eat, flying on an airplane, things like that. Nobody have an idea of the backstory. Now, I don't want you to go anywhere. I'll be right back to talk to you.
Sitting on my bed, watching a preacher preach on the television screen. And I said to myself, Lord, I can do better than him.
Welcome back. I left off talking about the backstory. The backstory is not glamorous. Nobody even want to hear much about the backstory. Because I heard a man speaking one time and truly brought home a point that I hadn't even thought about. You know, there are millions of people that get up and drive cars every day and do it right. They stop at the red lights. They make the correct turns. They take all the precautions in traffic, and thus they make it home. People, they're pilots that fly planes every day, all day, and get millions of people to their designated location. All of these things are happening. Now, when everything is happening good, that usually don't make any news. Now, when something goes bad, then that's all over everywhere. Everybody's talking about when it goes bad. Very few people talk about when it's going good. My point is, more appreciation, more work, more of your physical endeavors should be in the process, that backstory. Because it's those hours when don't nobody know who you are or how hard you're working, or how much time it takes to put into something before people can enjoy it. Nobody pretty much looks up anything about that. Nobody likes the process, but everybody want to rejoice in the process. Matter of fact, people want to rejoice in the process so good that when you finally develop the process, then they're standing right there to tell you how you're supposed to handle the product now. They ain't did nothing to get to where you are. They were not around while you were suffering and going through. All of a sudden, they want to jump up and tell you how to do with the product that is now doing well, and they don't have an understanding of the process. My point is, great life, you got to adhere to the process. If you want to enjoy great things, you got to go through the process. You just can't automatically go in and grab the product. It is a process. It's going to be setback. It's going to be difficult days. It's going to be hardships. It's going to be all kinds of things that happen in the process stage. But it's only evolving you, and if you stick to it, to the ultimate product. And that's what we got to understand in life. So my coaching point on today is quit going around with these fantasies in your mind that you think you can just snap your fingers and all of a sudden you're successful. Or just because somebody gave you one compliment, you think you're the baddest thing on the block in the world and it never been created. That's not true. And most people generally don't want to try anything unless they can do it quickly. It's kind of like exercising or getting your body in shape is difficult. Yes, it is. But it's amazing how enjoyable it is eating all the wrong stuff. I've never seen the wrong stuff not be sweet. I'm not saying that there's certain things you cannot eat from time to time, but I'm just saying most of the sweet stuff, most of the stuff that put calories on us and weight, that's all sweet. Now losing it, that's the process. You can't just pick up 10 pounds one day a week and expect to lose everything. There is a process. But however, when you're going through the process, doing it correctly, the product is going to speak for itself. And I want to challenge you on today to understand, like I said, it's not the product, it's the process. If you do the process right, the product is going to speak for itself. If I carry myself, study, do the things I'm supposed to do, get the proper rest, not hang out in all of the bad places, not run with people that are not going anywhere. Rather, let me be with the group that's trying to go somewhere, trying to evolve a process. Then I'm not going to have to tell anybody I got the product. They're going to be able to see it for themselves. And that's why I'm so confident in that message, that there's a process every one of us have to go through to make us into the product we need to be. And this is an amazing thing. People will pay for a good product. There are people that are making amazing amounts of money when they put out good products. Not much glamour in the process, but it's sure enough a lot of glamour in the process. And you see time and time and time again that people make amazing things. So in Action Coaching on today, I want you to reach out to me. Let me know, yes, I understand what you're talking about. I'm going to start my process. You know, I know the product where I want to be, but the product is not going to happen without the process. And it's time to quit saying, I'm going to do. Say, I will do. Let's get started. Let's get going. Let's move toward the goal. Because nothing happens without these things taking place. You want to be smart in life? There's a process called studying, researching, learning, evolving. And oh yes, you will be smart. If you want to mature to another level, if you start working on the process, the product is going to be all right. And so I want to encourage you, remember, reach out to me, let me know, say, yes, that really touched me. I'm going to start the process now, and I know I'll have the product. Now, I don't want you to go anywhere. I'll be right back to talk to you.
Sitting on my bed, watching a preacher preach on the television screen. And I said to myself, Lord, I can do better than him.
Welcome back. Thank God for you enjoying Action Coaching on today. We certainly appreciate and thank God for you standing with us and sharing with so many others about how Action Coaching is benefiting you in your life. I certainly want to sit down and sow a generous seed faith offering for the support of Action Coaching. Yes, help us continue to expand the vision, do bigger and better things here on Action Coaching so that we could bless so many people. And I know that many of you can sow seed of 100, 250,000, whatever the Lord is speaking to your heart for the support of the Action Coaching. I do know this, when you help the dream, the vision go forward that God has set in place, God will do the same thing for you. So I certainly want to hear from you on today. Now there's a link in my bio for you to sow that seed, and I want to thank you personally for supporting Action Coaching. We could not do this without you partnering with us, and I certainly thank God for that. So remember, go to that link in my bio and give that seed today, and I know God is going to richly bless you. Well, the Lord bless you. I certainly enjoy sharing with you on today. And as I do each and every week, I want to encourage you. Share the word with a friend and keep the word in action.